Trade Genius.
What's up, guys? Philip with Trade Genius, and today's video we're going to take a look at Bitcoin. What is it doing? Seems like it's been trapped in a tight trading range relative to previous moves. So I wanted to take a look at that, show you the key levels to be looking at for your own personal trading and where we might be going from here. So without further ado, let's take a look at that. Guys, really quick, we do have our specials running still. We've extended the specials actually out, so we got another week on those, and we have our back to school specials. These are our academy, our trading academy courses. Again, lots of content for the price. Check those out. Also, if you want to be with us, Bob and I are in the room every day. ETF and crypto trading, do live trading. Also, you would get our signals, the day trading money machine, which is pretty deadly on the futures. You can apply that to our binary options program. Lots of things to use there to make money every day in the markets. So also that one there, all these are marked big time down and great value right now. So anyway, so go ahead and check out the charts. Let's start with Bitcoin and let's look at the weekly. Now, if you notice in the weekly, we've got a descending wedge. And that's, those patterns are bullish. And we just finished our weekly close. So let's take a look at where we ended up there. And as you can see, we've got this, bullish candle here. So what we want to do is we want to see the high of that candle was 66.47. And as we drill down into the smaller time frames, you're going to see these levels in more detail. But essentially on this weekly candle that we got coming up here, it's probably a likelihood we could still stay within the range of this bar here. So a high of 66.47 and a low of 58.58 approximately. That's basically the range we're looking to see if we can close outside of, and doing so would give us direction for the coming weeks. So again, a close outside the high of 66.47 or 58.58 on the low side. Now, if we drill down to the daily, and we have a high-low range of that, or we have the high to low of that range. And we've got basically what we have here is the Fibonacci's. And if we go ahead and make those color, you'll see here that, that's our mid-level pullback area is going to be about 6,100. I think 6,150 is probably a preferable level to be looking at catching along, mainly because of the range that we've been in most of the time in here. So if we take our rectangle, you look at where a lot of the closes have been after this low was made on decent volume, right? We had this move up that was quickly bought, and then a bounce back up, quickly sold. And we've kind of been trading in this range here. And so because of the fact that we made this really bullish bar, this is what you call the swing failure. So you made a low, but you closed above the previous low. That's very bullish. So looking to see, my bias is that we break the upside here. And the reason for that is because we've been chewing on these levels. And the more that you chew on a level, especially in this small time frame, more likely that level is going to give way. So I think the way you want to play this is basically you want to get on the lower end of this range. Now, we could just continue to grind up and finally break out of this, but you don't want to buy the highs and you don't want to sell the lows. So if it does break out, then we'd be looking for a pullback, and we'll drill down to that if that happens. But for right now, you want to be checking out ranges down toward the 6,200, 6,150 level. I think that's going to be your safer play for risk rewards for getting long on Bitcoin. The other thing I wanted to point out on the daily chart was that we have basically where a series, where we're making these cycles, right, up and down. And let's go ahead and drag this down here. I'm going to show you something on the moving averages, and then we'll wrap it up. So we have this moving average. It goes up. This is our WMA 20. I like that for the smaller time frame, higher response, what I like to call the momentum line. That's the smaller period moving average. And when it crosses up and over is typically when you've got, the confirmation that we've rolled over cyclically. So if you've noticed, like so here we've got 1, 2, and 3, right? 3 moves up and down. On this move here, when the WMA 20 crossed over the purple line, which is the 65 period weighted moving average, what typically will happen is you'll get a retest of the WMA 20. So you saw it here at around 680, almost 9,000. And then it crossed back over and you got a retest here at around 7,500. And now we're doing it here. I can pull this away from VPVR. There we go. And you can see that we have it here. So historically, this has been an issue of where we have a failure here, and when that happened, and a failure here, and that happened, and a failure here. If that's what this is, where at that point is what I'm trying to say is, if we're typically technically we've come up, tested that level, and we've rolled over. So that is something to keep an eye on for the bears. And then if we do roll over on that, then the concern is going to be the levels below. And the reason why that's a concern, we'll just take a look at the price chart, is that we've got this big old volume void here, right? So this guy doesn't give you a whole lot of support until you get down into this level, which is this right, into the 4,000 range. So that's the risk for the downside if we lose this support level that we're currently working on, which is around that 58 to 50 level. Okay. Now, like I said, we've been chewing on the 6,500 to 6,600 level a lot. And that currently looks like, the bullish case for what's going to transpire next. Again, as you nibble on these levels here, 65, 50, it's been hitting it a lot. And this is where sooner or later these levels go. Now, we do have a 4-hour short signal, which has seen price pull back a bit. The last one we got was, and I'm looking for the ones that were in the high end of the range because we like them on the linear regression channel. It was up here, chopped, and then rolled over. Again, on those signals, we like them in the top part of the channel or the bottom part of the channel for buys, top part for longs. So we are there now. So something to keep an eye on, but this would be the level around the 6150 area, 6100 to 6150 to 6200 really. Anywhere in there, I'd be looking to probably reestablish a position. That's pretty much it right now for Bitcoin. I think that the entire crypto space is going to be kind of tethered to it. And as you can see, we have had some bounces in the different various alts, some of which have actually sustained the move. In the past, all you would see was any move up would just get whacked and roll right back over. We are seeing a little bit of a change in character in that. So there's definitely some inflows coming into the crypto market cap, and whether or not that is sustained, I think largely depends on whether or not this low holds. And so breaking above this level here, again, we need to start seeing some closes outside of this range, because right now all we have is just a ton of action in this area here. That's where all the excitement happens, where price can't move up and the shorts come in. So if you are shorting, even though it looks like it might break out right now, this is where this is the action where you'd want to be shorting. The risk there, and this is from about 6,500 to 6,650. But the risk obviously there at this point is we've hit that so many times that, you know, you could get stopped out. So your stop would have to be fairly tight. But again, look how many moves we've had up in here, like this move here. You know, you basically, you want to have a tight stop, but you could also get head faked out. That's the problem getting short in this area with this recent price action. If we had a close, if we had a 4-hour close up in this area above here, above 6,700, I think that's probably going to take us into this next area of concern, which is going to be get rid of this. This next area here. That area right there, and that's a range from about 6,900 just above to about 7,200 in that range. That's where we're going to come, probably break up. You know, we've got this volume void here, and we're going to see a move through these levels. See, you got a volume node here and another one here, but we could move quickly through this. So if we do break above, close above 6,600 to 6,700 on the 4-hour candle, you could see a fairly decent move with, you know, within a day up to that next area. But that's going to be the spot where the next battle happens. So it'll be interesting to see if we have enough to get up above that. Also, that's going to coincide with our 200 period moving average on the 4-hour chart. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I just wanted to give you my insight on where we are. Again, I think we should wait and see if we can get Bitcoin a bit lower in this trading range. But I do think because of the previous price action, that nice hammer on the daily for the low, that we are probably potentially looking at a breakout above the 6,600 level that we've been butting our heads against with Bitcoin. And then we'll see where we go from there. All right, guys, if anything happens with price drastically, we'll update Bitcoin price action later this week. Otherwise, I'll have some other useful videos. And thanks again for watching. Always appreciate it. Please hit like and subscribe, or ring that bell if you're on your mobile for our notifications on our new videos. And I'll see you on tomorrow's video. Take care. Bye.
Trade Genius.